Was it just a fall or a warning? My father has always been a quiet man, the kind of man who didn't say much, but showed his love by fixing things. The broken fan, the squeaky door, the leaking faucet. He didn't talk about feelings, but he never forgot to peel an orange for Mom every night. He was strong, not muscular, but sturdy, grounded. That's why no one noticed at first when he started slowing down. He sat more. He didn't go out as much. He joked that walking was boring, that old people shouldn't be rushing around anyway. We laughed, but I remember one moment. He bent down to tie his shoelace, and for a second, he lost balance. He chuckled, pretending it was nothing, but I saw it. His hands shook as he tried to get up. It was a small crack in the wall, a whisper, but none of us listened. Then came the night. I got a call from my mom. "Your father fell," she said, voice trembling. "In the bathroom. He couldn't get up. We called an ambulance." I drove like a madman. At the hospital, they ran tests. His bones weren't broken, no stroke, no heart attack. So why did he fall? The doctor asked what he had eaten that day. Toast for breakfast, some rice at lunch, skipped dinner, just water and one banana. Then she looked at me and said something that stayed in my chest like a nail. "He's not sick. He's underfed. What you're seeing is the slow damage of ignoring senior nutrition." The answer: no one wants to hear the hospital room smelled like antiseptic in silence. Dad lay there awake, but empty, eyes half open, breathing shallow, not in pain, but not really present either. I sat beside him. He didn't speak. He looked at the ceiling like it owed him something. Later, the doctor came in, calm, soft-spoken. She asked questions. How long has he been eating so little? Any recent weight loss? Has he been moving less than usual? I didn't know how to answer. I felt like I had failed an exam I didn't know I was taking. She showed me the charts. His blood pressure was low, electrolytes out of balance, signs of muscle atrophy, quiet, consistent decline. "He's not dying," she said gently, "but he's been slowly fading." Fading. That word hit me like a hammer because she wasn't talking about disease. She was talking about something invisible, about the kind of aging no one warns you about. "Most seniors eat too little," she explained. "They lose muscle quietly. They stop absorbing nutrients efficiently. It's not always about what they eat, but what their body no longer uses well." She paused and then looked at me carefully. "Senior nutrition isn't a diet, it's a strategy. And if you don't plan it, the body starts to disappear from the inside out." My throat tightened. All these years, I thought love was calling home, visiting once a week, buying medicine. I never once asked what he ate. That night, I sat in the hospital corridor and made a list: protein before bed, more healthy fats, easy to chew foods, a meal schedule, vitamin D rate shortening the induri, more water, and patience. It wasn't just about feeding him, it was about giving him a second chance. When the body starts to listen, we didn't start big, just a spoon of yogurt before bed, some mashed avocado on toast, a soft-boiled egg every other day. He didn't complain, but he didn't smile either. That first week felt like feeding a baby bird, small, careful, quiet. I worried it wouldn't work, that it was too late. But on day 6, he asked, "Can I have more of that creamy stuff from last night?" I laughed. "You mean yogurt?" He nodded. Yeah, it felt warm in my belly. A small win. Then we added oats soaked in milk with bananas for breakfast, scrambled eggs with spinach, soups with lentil, chicken, or tofu, soft fruits, nuts, and warm herbal teas. I kept a notebook, tracked everything. Every time he walked without holding the wall, every smile, every word he remembered. Week 2, he started sitting straighter. Week 3, he opened the window in the morning without me asking. That's when I realized this wasn't just about food. It was about dignity. He had gone from fading to forming, and the secret wasn't medicine. It was senior nutrition. He wasn't young again, but he was present. Present in breakfast conversations, present in the garden, present with my mother. And that presence after weeks of emptiness felt like a miracle. The things my father never said one afternoon, I found him outside, not just walking, watering the plants. He stood there in the sun, holding the green hose, his back a little straighter than I remembered. I didn't interrupt, just watched. When he noticed me, he smiled and said, "I miss this, the sun, the smell of wet leaves. I didn't think I'd feel it again." We sat down on the garden bench. There was silence. Then he said something I never expected. "You know, it wasn't just my body giving up. I think I gave up too. That hurt more than any diagnosis." He looked down at his hands, then back at me. "I stopped trying. Son, when your mother started doing everything for me, I thought maybe I wasn't needed anymore. I wanted to cry, but when you started helping me eat again, you didn't feed me like I was weak. You treated me like I still had a future. I didn't know what to say, so I just said the truth. Because you do, Dad. You still have mornings to see, meals to enjoy, people who love you." He smiled and patted my hand. That evening, he helped Mom set the table. He told her a joke. He even laughed at his own punchline. And I thought to myself, sometimes what saves a man over 70 isn't a surgery, isn't a pill. It's someone reminding him that his life is still worth nourishing. Do we eat to live, or live to eat well again? It's been 5 months since that night in the hospital. My father now eats 3 meals a day, small but balanced. Breakfast is warm oats with berries. Lunch is soft fish, greens, and brown rice. Dinner always includes protein, an egg, tofu, or lentils. He still needs help sometimes, but he walks more, talks more, even jokes that he's almost 65 again. I know we didn't find a miracle. We just found the truth. Aging isn't the end, but poor nutrition can make it feel like it is. I look back and realize the food wasn't just nutrients. It was dignity, hope, presence, and above all, it was love. Love, served warm in a bowl. Love, hidden in vitamin D drops. Love, repeated in small routines every day. Now, whenever I see someone elderly walking alone, I wonder, has anyone asked what they ate today? Because sometimes the body doesn't break it, just empties slowly. And the one thing that can refill it, senior nutrition. If this story reminds you of someone you love, please share it or comment, "I've seen this happen too." In the next video, we'll break down the 5 essential foods every person over 70 needs daily and why skipping them might cost you years.